All right, here we go. So I got this about a week ago. This is the Kiser Doberman, and I did an unboxing of it. I've been carrying it for about a week or so, and I've learned a lot about it. I've learned quite a bit about it. Luckily, it's behaving today, so I mean, I guess I'll get into just my review. I'll make this one, a little shorter than my last two. So, I first got this, I was like, man, this is pretty cool. Oh, I love the ergonomics, yada yada yada, and I still do. I love how full of a grip it is. The jimping over here. How much you can really choke up on it. It's cutting things, stuff like that. It's pretty cool, pretty easy. Nice and slicey. Given the angle when you're cutting into things. Um, G10 is great, is great texture. I love that grip. Those are all the things that I loved about it initially from first impressions, and I still love those things now. The things that I've discovered, really, it's two things ultimately. The flipper tab. This thing, so when I said that earlier, this thing is behaving now. It I can actually flip it now. What ended up happening was the pivot screw. It's actually two screws on both sides. They got loose, and you can see here it's pretty well centered now, but before this was way over on this side. And then when I tightened this up, it got about center again. But what was going on was apparently this is very very sensitive in terms of just making sure that this blade is tensioned correctly from both sides. What ended up happening was it was just making this detent just way 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 too strong, and the flipper tab just it wasn't working. Like I can flip it now like this, and it's fine. It's a little tighter than what I'd like. um but before, I would have to like press down so hard, and it was like killing my fingertip. It was the flipper tab was unusable. The thumb stud works really really well. I have no problems with that. I don't know. Could I even do it with my left hand? I'm a righty, but yeah, I can't do it. I'm fucking useless with my left hand. Anyway, so this sort of got resolved. It took a whole week of just messing with these tension screws to get that right. But the one thing that has not been resolved, that I fucking hate about this knife, I fucking hate it. This is terrible. Is this pocket clip? First of all, if you look at it, it is super pointy and pinchy. You know, you see, it presses on this single point, and it is so hard to bend back and loosen. This thing, like, if I'm wearing my dress pants, for work, okay, this will slip in and out, not too bad. But if I'm wearing a pair of jeans or sweatpants or shorts or anything, this thing just doesn't want to give up. It doesn't want to let up. This clip is absolutely horrendous. I hate it. Um, if they make an aftermarket clip for this, then I would highly, highly recommend it if you ever do end up getting this knife. I read a couple. I listened to a couple of reviews on this knife, and some critical stuff about it. I think some of the things that were said about it are true, but I wouldn't say that this is a bad knife. It retails for about $70, 70, 75, or somewhere whereabouts that. I think if you can get it on sale, it's not bad. It is a larger knife. If you have larger hands, then I think that it is something that you might enjoy. I really do love the lines of this thing. Just the way that it sweeps, and everything like that. The way that when you close it, that the jimping is flush with this. How when you flip it open, the flipper tab is flush with this. It really does a good job of just hiding, that flipper tab, and just the lines of it are really really nice. Um, the G10, though, it is very unexceptional in terms of appearances. It's a black G10. If they offered this in some other colors, I might actually, recommend that. But it's highly functional, great texture. The one of the reviews that I saw had the titanium scales on this, and two things. One, it was heavier than this knife. This one came in at about 4.7, 4.8, somewhere about that ounces. Not too bad, but the titanium one, for whatever reason, is titanium scales, and I think it's I want to say S30, S35 blade steel. That one was over 5 ounces. That surprised me. Um, but the G10 feels great. It's contoured. I really like it. I love how you can catch the contour lines. In the lighting. But really, this they could have done something more to this knife to make it just stand out, to be a bit nicer, so that it had much more of an appeal. Because it's just this solid black G10, it kind of is very forgettable. And because of things like this pocket clip, I don't know how many people are going to be that picky about it. I am. I think that I am less likely to carry this very often. Just well, for two things. One, it's a very large knife. I'm not exactly really used to it. Got the feldspar here again for comparison. The feldspar is really more my pace. I'm gonna be feel a lot better carrying something this size than I am something this size. This is just a hair over 3 inches, and this is 3.6. But honestly, man, if this thing had a better pocket clip, I wouldn't mind carrying this thing at all. I really wouldn't mind if there was some coloration or some pattern or something to really just make this stand out. Other than its lines. Its lines are very sexy. It's like, ooh, look at you, you curvy thing. Those are very, very nice, but just it it's not so phenomenal of a knife that I would say, yes, this is definitely something that you kind of need to pick up. This is something that is going to resonate with tons of people, and just everyone's going to have this thing. It's just going to be one of those knives like the rat. Ontario Rat, or the Kershaw Leak, or something like that. This is a very decent knife. If it was $60, I'd say yeah, it's even better. I don't think they could make this for $50. Maybe if they made like a 14 cm blade, which I actually don't mind. I don't mind touching it up periodically if it's a nice sturdy steel. But if it was plain like this and it was like $50, I'd be like, yeah, absolutely, pick it up. It's great. Um, yeah, it sits in this really weird price point, in this really weird just space in the knife amongst premium knife makers, that I don't know. It's a little unextraordinary. Uh, I don't get me wrong. I will keep this, and I really will love it, because this was a gift from someone, and I'm a very sentimental person, and it's not a bad knife. It's just not phenomenal. It's not great. Like I can't go on and on and on about it. I can't go on and on about how much I hate this clip. But yeah, it is what it is. Thank you to my poop brother for giving this to me. I absolutely, I do love it for that reason. Just anything he gives me, I 100% wholeheartedly appreciate. I don't think he's ever given me anything, or thrown anything my way that I was like, what the hell is this piece of crap? But yeah, for those of you who are looking for a large, relatively inexpensive knife, yeah, pick it up. Not bad. If you're really looking for something that's going to round out a collection, I don't know if this is it. It does for me, just because, like I said, it's a much larger knife than something that I carry. But man, oh man, I'm gonna be scouring the internet to see if I can find a better pocket clip. It's really my only gripe, because now that I got the flipper tab to work, and I got the tension here just right, I yeah, I actually don't mind. Oh, there is another thing about it. Watch this. Well, it's not doing. Of course, it's not doing it when I'm recording. Yeah, right there. You see, I flicked it down and it bounced up. That's not great, because if you're using this in a rush, it could pop open on you, and you might poke yourself with a pointy part or something like that. Um, I I think that it just has lots of little nuances to it that make it really fall short of something that's absolutely stellar. I mean, $70 nowadays. $70 is not bad for a decent knife, and I would say that this is a decent knife. There are things better. I think there are even things that are better at a lower price point. You may not be getting 154 cm steel. You may not be getting Contour G10. You may not be getting a flipper tab, whatever. But one thing for sure, you won't be getting this damn pocket clip. All right, well, that's all I got, and thanks for tuning in. Bye, everybody.